Hi fellow 90K-acres and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are going to look at the new revamp of the Longsword and the Longsword Soldier's skill, and let's see how good it is in theory. So here we have the skill adjustment and its equipment effect adjustment. So now the Longsword Soldier's skill deals 45 to 70% damage, up to 12 targets within 2 tiles and bleed them, dealing 45 to 70% true damage each round, lasting for 3 rounds. And for its exclusive equipment effect adjustment, we have the HP restore by 30% of the bleed damage, instead of the rapture effect, which increases damage taken by 30% of the target who's affected by bleed. So, to understand how much the HP it restores, let's say your longsword's damage to the target is 50, so 50 times 75% is equals to 37 bleed damage. So the heal will come from that 37% bleed damage, and 37 times 30% is 11. So you restore 11 HP out of that 50 damage for 3 rounds as long as the target triggers bleed. Anyways, I haven't tried playing the longsword since its revamp, and I'm not sure if when you hit multiple targets and bleed them means you will heal more than 11 HP depending on the number of targets hit. So, if that's true, then let's say we hit 10 targets, so 11 times 10 is equals to 110, so meaning you heal 110 HP in total. But remember, the target needs to trigger bleed before we heal for 11 HP, so it's not an instant 110 heal, if I'm correct. So for its new exclusive stats, we have the Jade Pendant, Crescent Blade, Crit Blade, Leech Sword, Darts, Mirror Armor, and Binding Pendant, and the Hourglass. All this stats is in the new Longsword exclusive equipment, and I'm wondering, why would the game add the Mirror Armor Jade and Binding Pendant to the Longsword exclusive equipment, since these items are ideal for tank soldiers? So I don't know if Longsword soldiers are good for tanking. I haven't tried it myself, but theoretically speaking, I think it's possible somehow. I mean, it won't be invincible, but it might do just fine. So I'm thinking, it will be okay if the enemy soldier's levels is level 3 and lower, but if it's level 4 and higher, then Longsword tank build will be in a disadvantage. Because of their poor max health, it's low compared to the real tank soldiers, but anyways. So I'm thinking building it like this. So, the Rattan shield is very essential for this build to counter enemy bow. Plus, it's good to pair it with the mirror armor. Then we have the Helm of Calmness to help boost our HP a little bit and provide heals per 5 turns. While the Leech Sword will provide constant heal per hit, that also synergize with the exclusive equipment's heal per bleed. So like I said, this build would be okay if the enemy is low levels, but in any case, this build is a tank build, and its role is to tank and provide bleed effect for as long as it can. But that's just for the normal soldiers, and this build would have a bigger effect with your heroes like Lu Meng, Jiang Wei, and Xin Qiji, since heroes like Lu, Meng, and Jiang Wei has a tank expertise, while Xin Qiji has an offensive expertise. So your heroes having this tank build will have more HP than your average soldiers and are much tankier. Well, at least Lu and Wei can tank but not invincible, and Qiji can be your offensive tank. So this build may not be so good as anyone, but the role of this build is to withstand enemy bowmen. That's why the 3 tank equipment's the helmet, mirror armor, and rattan shield. So that's for the tank build, and I have my doubts about this build because, to be honest, it might not perform very well in battle, since the longsword is supposed to be played as the offensive soldier and not a tank. But anyway, here's the classic offensive build for longsword before they change everything. So we have here the Crit Blade, Circle Blade, Leech, and Dual Axe for the classic build. But if you want, you can always do this build since we have the Crit Blade and Leech from the exclusive equipment. Now all we need to get for our smelt item is the Circled Blade and the Dual Axe. But if you want to destroy the enemy heavy tank cavalry as quickly as possible, then go for this build. This 2-item combination, the Mace and the Dark Steel, will quickly melt any enemy tank soldiers in play. But the downside is, you don't have the proper defense for the enemy archers like the improved crossbow, so it will more likely to one-tap kill your longsword before it can successfully kill the enemy heavy cavalry soldiers. But I'll let you decide how you want to play your longsword. So before I end this video, I'll show you one more crazy build that probably no other players build like this before or ever. So here's the final build in this video. And I know a lot of the players will 100% disagree on this build. But first, let me explain the theory of this build. So, regardless whether you have a Cure Blade fused to your exclusive equipment or not, your Longsword soldiers will eventually die in battle whether you like it or like it very much. Lol. So the reason for this build, and especially the Cure Blade, is to provide a steady heal of 10 HP to your soldiers per turn. So in each turns, you will have an addition of 90 heal in total coming from your Cure Blade. But not only that, we also have the Leech Sword working in tandem with the Cure Blade, so to provide a wide range heal to our units in the battlefield. And although the 10 HP heal might seem low in comparison to the damage we receive from enemy attacks, but that's why we have the Rattan Shield to somehow reduce the damage we receive from the enemy archer, since archers are the main damage dealers in this game. So that's it for this short video. The important thing here is, you send your Longsword to provide support to your tank and to counter the enemy cavalry, and most importantly, timing. Don't send your Longsword if it's not needed and stay in formation. And as always, thank you for watching and we'll see you on the next.